know there are some rules, and we know them, but it's good to be reminded of the rules also for a roundtable discussion. So we have the rules now in a concise little video. So let's take it in. Thank you.
The rules of the round table. Around the table, no one is more important or less important. Everyone is equal and very important. We don't reject opinions or negate, but only collaborate. The real solution won't come from knowledge or verbal perfection, but only from our connection.
This is the key. It all comes from our connection, and this is what we want to do now. And we have prepared some questions for us, and we will have time, as I said, till 1915 Central European time, so that's about 35, almost 40 minutes. And we want to start with having the awareness and maybe to even feel the joy to keep exploring now together, to feel the open mind, the open heart that we said in the beginning. This is what leads us the furthest. It goes beyond any level of the mind. It goes when we come together, we will reach a degree that is above us, beyond us. So let's feel the joy in this exploration and in this opportunity that was given to us now. And we start with the first question. And we have this here now in our chat also. I'm going to read it for us. And we are happy to hear you. And please raise your hand again. The question is, what is the purpose for the development of nature? And how does it connect with the development we see in human civilization? So please, now we ask you as our experts. Each of us is an expert in his field, with his or her expertise, to bring it in and to add to our wisdom, to add it to our common heart. So this is the question for this. What is the purpose for the development of nature? What's your point of this? What's your take on this? And how does it connect with the development we see in human civilization? Let's hear our insights, our approaches, and as we said in the beginning, they can be very diverse, they can even contradict each other. We are able to include them as the points we are making for each other to highlight insights. So please raise your hand if you want to start exploring, sharing what is the purpose from your understanding for the development of nature and how does it connect with the development we see in human civilization. So please, there is Dr. Pines giving us more insights. Please go ahead.
Again, as I spoke about, I connect Burton Athley's general systems analysis and Nobel's purposeful analysis together. And the fact is that you're organizing to larger systems. There's a purpose. So the only purpose could be an ultimate unity, but a unity approaching as an integral unity, where although one stage above is a homogeneity, it's a homogeneity of purpose, of a higher, more complex purpose relating to other systems, which are differentiated and again come together, integrate, work with each other to find higher and higher purposes. So you have a total unity, but within a vast, approaching infinite integral system. That seems to be the purpose. And how is human civilization? It's caught up in it. We've got, and the problem is we're going against the grain while we're, the peaking and all that, we're going against the grain. We have to find a way to smoothly work into the way that nature's directing us, calmly and smoothly for our own sake. So we're going to suffer a great deal. Thank you.
Thank you. So now, Ernest, it's up to you. Please, we want to hear your voice.
Thank you so much for this great gathering and hearing all these experts just enlightening. And thank you very much, really, for everybody. I would like actually to explore it and take it to the next step. We understood, at least my understanding was from the presentation, especially from a Professor Krasnov, that there is a very important gap between the skill set and the impact of the skills of each individual of the society. And if I this gap has a major impact, because a major impact, it can be both in the economy, on the different interests, or maybe we saw we heard about the integral egoism, okay, and how we are able actually to take the human nature and the individual egoism to align it together, okay, with the community, okay, in the interest of the global interest, okay, to make the whole world better. And how we can impact it. We have like a around 50 to 70 to 100 participants, maybe more. Okay, but I believe that we are able to make a contribution even by this gathering, and just to spread the word of the idea that if we are going just to work together to hear each other, and was this a beautiful actually intro of this clip, okay, just work together, not to negate each other, we are already bringing actually the whole world, a whole humanity, to a sort of a balance point and the beginning of a positive, we building a positive relationship, and that is definitely will bring to a global connection. That will be my interpretation to adding on. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but at least that is my feeling, and I'm taking out really from it was a very, very enlightening session those days. Once again, thank you very much for everybody, presenters, organizers, everybody. Just thank you so much. I learned a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, and let us take a moment, maybe, Yasmin, if there are questions coming from our YouTube channels or social media, please let us know. We want to include them also. But of course, we want to include also voices that we have not heard yet today. So I'm encouraging also the participants here we have not heard yet, that I believe and we know this, every voice counts, and each of us can contribute. So you are encouraged to also include your voice, and maybe it's just one sentence, that's fine. Maybe it's two, but so please consider also to include yourself in this, because this makes us more intelligent if we also hear your voice. So let's continue here, and let me find a way. Okay, so we keep going. Please, Grigori, include your insight and your perspective.
Да, спасибо. Ну, мой доклад был, в общем, посвящен антропным принципам, поэтому я пробовал продемонстрировать, что в самом деле у природы есть цель. Хотя дискуссии вокруг этого вопроса ведутся огромные, есть она или нет. А если даже есть, и сейчас многие уже склоняются, что, видимо, есть, потому что очень много факторов вселенского уровня до микроскопических частиц и биологические всевозможные эксперименты показывают, насколько невозможно создать просто
So there are experiments in biology and very complicated, and that show that it's very difficult to create something in biology, let alone working with conscience. There was a book by Strugatsky, Billion Years, and there was a story about the death of the universe, but human conscience can change this tendency.
Увеличение порядка во Вселенной. Может быть, и это цель. И это может сделать только объединенное человечество.
And only united humanity can save the planet. When we add order into this chaos.
единства, обеспечения безопасности всех, уважения прав
And
каждого.
if we do this, then we can turn the development of where we're going into something better.
Которое должно стать доминирующим.
As Alexander Kozlov said, that there has to be unification of above our diversity.
Наверное, Наталья.
Natalia?
Thank you. So I think the next one was Natalia was out, but no, yes, please go ahead.
Спасибо. Я, наверное, продолжу
Thank you.
Григория.
Want to add?
Мы, скорее всего, даже не скорее всего, а вот как бы
I think that we
вся
should.
эволюция говорит об этом, что мы должны вернуться
The whole evolution is
более
talking
насыщенному, более
to us that we
развитому,
have to return to unification that we used to have.
на мой взгляд,
And the question is how.
с позиции моей
So I think that from the position of my professional knowledge, since we people that are created by people, by society, meaning, and we realize the potential through the society. So we consist of stereotypes, and we need to change the paradigm of the stereotypes to continue to do what we are doing, the integral dissemination of integral upbringing and education for each society, for each culture, picking the right key to form a different stereotype that without each other we cannot live together. And then if we get 10% of the whole of humanity who have this kind of approach, this will change everything. Thank you.
Thank you. So, yeah, let's include another voice here, please, Larissa.
Я очень благодарна
I'm very
за
thankful for our great conference that has raised so many questions, and now we are trying to answer them. Well, now we've experienced the COVID pandemic, and we saw that when people were sitting at home, we saw how nature was thriving. Animals were happy when people were sitting at home because the nature is harmony, is beauty, is love, and only people is not that. But it gives opportunity for us to think, who are we and where shall we start? And today we saw how our organism is also a part of nature and is harmonious within itself. And humanity is at the very early stage of development, I think. But when we come together like this and we discuss these topics, and we come to the conclusion that only putting together all our ideas and desires in the search of who we are, then a power jumps in that transforms us. And I think that the question is here isn't how much and how often we will talk about it based on the scientific research, including that. And we will learn finally how to hear each other, how to feel each other. And I think that we shall start from family level.
Не отторгают друг друга. Вот это надо поймать, и это надо увеличить. И тогда будет гармония.
When, as we heard, the couple meets, they have love, and we need to stick to that. Try to do our best.
Thank you. And I think we have one more last question before we go to the next question, please, or another insight, please go ahead, Ina.
Да, ну как бы уже было много сказано, что действительно целью
Yes,
человечества
we've heard a lot already. But we have heard that the purpose of humanity is to come to harmony with nature. And that's the purpose of the nature, to bring humanity to harmony with nature. And we need to train and strengthen ourselves in this. Thank you.
Thank you. This was short enough to also take this insight here of Sergey. Please go ahead.
Да. Ну, мы видим, что разобщение ведет к самоуничтожению.
We see that when we're not united, it destroys us. And the nature gives us choice to change and come to unity. And if we reach unity, then we can live. Then we have future and we can develop and thrive. But if humanity chooses not this, then the result will be not good. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we have to make wise choices here, as we heard before in the presentation. So let's continue and find what we want to explore and share insights about the next question. And we will also put this here into our chat. So the next question is: the scientific community widely discusses the global civilizational crisis as a threat to human existence. What are the signs of this? Should we be concerned? So again, second question. The scientific community widely discusses the global civilizational crisis as a threat to human existence. What are the signs of this? Should we be concerned? So please share your perspective, your insight, maybe your field of expertise you are working on with us about in regards to the scientific community and our relationship to it. Dr. Pines, please, Elliot.
I apologize if you want somebody else to go first or give other people a chance. But on the quick, again, it comes back to this peaking thing. That basically, again, fractal peaking at all levels in education, in society, pollution, natural crises, et cetera, et cetera. In other words, things are instead of smoothly interacting, forming this integral system of differentiation at one level and working together in that difference to form a greater whole, et cetera, they're banging up against each other. It's overwhelming that it's coming in this natural globalization force and it's being fought back, which is, against the grain and basically getting clamor to the head. It could be smooth, delightful, and an expansion where we all become everybody and we have that incredible consciousness, whatever it would mean, versus basically banging our heads continuously and suffering a great deal. This is really signs of crisis everywhere. Every conflict, every war, every protest, slavery, everything that's going on in the world, and those trying to throw out everybody else, those trying to conquer homogeneity, forcing the goose step. In other words, everybody has to be like me. Everybody has to follow my religion, my politics, my et cetera. You see it everywhere. I mean, unless somebody's blind, I don't think even a child can see it. Unfortunately, it can't be avoided discussing it with children.
Thank you. And here's Ernest, please. Oh, and Yasmin also. Let's hear Yasmin first. I didn't see this. Please, Yasmin.
Thank you very much for your kindness. Yes,
I think it's very important, and we should not be more concerned but alerted. And what we have learned during the 2 amazing conference days is that we have no other choice. The only choice that we have here is whether it goes through suffering or it can go gently through education. And what we are learning here through all the specialists in integrative methodologies is that we need to connect truthfully, meaningfully together, and not to push everything outside, but to correct ourselves. And I think this is really the main thing we should take from all of that, is that it is very good that we are alerted that there are signals that we cannot continue anymore like this, and we should take it as an invitation to develop. But we have the question we need to ask: in what direction do we want to continue, as historically we have in a very like childish way, or are we growing up now and to a next level? And I think the hand is there for us to take. So let's unite, let's continue unite. And I think, yes, that is my contribution. Thank you, Ernest.
Thank you, Yasmin. Yes, please, Ernest.
Thank you very much. I definitely would like to continue what I hear, but I would actually would like to bring an example. Okay, because in the past it was actually was a club of Budapest in Hungary. Okay, Hungary is in the news recently, both from the part of the European Union. Okay, but they have some different opinions. Okay, different partnerships. Okay, when the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, was in Hungary. Okay, just during this weekend. Okay, for different purposes. But the Club of Hungary it actually was fostering. Okay, for regarding the humanity and the development of the humanity, and already was actually was putting together like different conferences. It's a lot of information available. Okay, to see how actually the humanity can develop, and instead of going to self-destruction or get the different warning signs, start to gain some positive indicators for as Franz mentioned, like partnerships, cooperation, collaboration. Even you can be actually in the business like a competitor. Two businesses can compete, but the competition should be fair. It should be like a business oriented. It should be like a code of ethics involved. It should be built on trust and common interest, because it's not only two businesses. If we are not going once against each other, I understand that everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to make a profit. It's okay. It's natural. Okay. Everybody wants to be a winner, but you have to be fair enough and consider others. When we are winning, you are running together, okay, together, and not dropping on each other's toes, okay, rather than helping each other to grow. And once people understand that the course has very well, okay, that what we heard about this previous integral egoism, okay, that this one actually, if you are going to funnel it and educate it to the right direction, the concept of integration will win and everywhere. And this one, I believe that for the concept of integration, like honesty, fairness, and trust, it should be built, and it takes time. It's very important to cooperate and foster. That is actually the basic, actually pretty much the basis of foundation of all the activities and all the presentations that we have today. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the sharing and the sharings we heard so far. So we have another 15 minutes. So I would like to continue to the next question here. And because we worked out on 5 questions, I'm not sure if we can do them all, but let's take the next question here, number 3. And I'm going to share it here. What specific steps must the global community take to work towards sustainable human prosperity rather than self-destruction? So here we go more into the practical. What specific steps must the global community take to work towards sustainable human prosperity rather than self-destruction? please go ahead. What are your insights? What are your suggestions in regards to specific steps? Yes, please, Natalia.
Кажется, мы
Natalia, I
двигаемся.
think that we're moving in the right direction.
Мы вкладываем свои усилия.
And we put our efforts into these programs, into these methodics that we are developing.
Потому что это все идет через усилия, потому что это все идет через молитву. Пусть даже там мужчины, женщины.
And it all has power because it affects the society.
Я не могу этого объяснить, но это сгула. Потому что эти продукты удивительным образом.
Because this project that we are working on, they have power over society.
And here, please, Elliot.
Yeah, the multi-step, basically one, integral education for the young, especially because growing up in a situation. In that education, specifically, not only integrate, we want everybody involved in developing this. That's the other thing too. And then also societal-wise, we do what in a grander scale, what successful self-help organizations have done. And I would think in terms of Overeaters Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, etc., is that propaganda, but voluntary propaganda. In other words, everyone is going in fully knowing. That's exactly it. You're going to go into Overeaters. You're getting propaganda, but you want it. In other words, I understand that I'm being put in a suggestive environment to help me. I'm affected by that environment to go in a direction that's healthy for me. And I voluntarily enter knowing that I'm going to receive propaganda and psychological methods in order to help me accomplish what I want to do. And that we do this on a large scale where society realizes it through the education and such, and voluntarily means of propaganda. We see this all the time. We know what the news media can do. We know what mass psychology and in news media, social media, etc. If those powers that suggest and lead to all sorts of things, the people screaming for TikTok today, etc., good or bad, but they have that kind of control. I understand when the Congress in the United States was going to cancel them, and still is doing it, that like 100 million letters came in saying, don't do this. This is the kind of power they have. So we can turn all this for good instead of for evil, selfish reasons and different things. For good, we can do this. So the voluntary propaganda, as in self-help organizations, and integral education.
Thank you. So again, in regards to time, I'm a little bit aware, but let's hear Ernest before we go to the next question, please.
Thank you for the opportunity. I will continue exactly from the point of integral education. My expertise is management systems, different management system, international standards, and my conclusion from today's conference that we have to come to the point that we are able to integrate all the sciences together, because all the sciences actually they are experts in different areas, but if you put all of them together, it will be one big combined puzzle, and that will be the real connection. And every expert or every consultant or every professional that will look in it, they will not look on their field of expertise. I know health and safety or environment or quality or chemistry or physics, but see the whole big picture and his expertise as part of the whole big picture. And they will understand that I'm not watching the tree, but I can see actually the forest also. And that is very important. And we will try to see this holistic method to see everything from the big picture to the small one. We will be able actually to integrate everything, because we can consider that the small part is not less important than the whole system. And even the smallest part has a very integral and very important part is the whole mechanism. Together we will win. Thank you so much. Great job.
Thank you. And as you refer to science and the different approaches in science, I think it's a great transition into the next question. I'm sorry, Liz, I would like to, I need to continue here, but this is exactly where we want to go to in the fourth question here. how can education and science help prevent global threats to humanity caused by the mismatch between technological progress and moral development of society? So again, how can education and science help prevent global threats to humanity caused by the mismatch between technological progress and moral development of society? Please go ahead and we will continue this exploration. Please, Gregory. Yes, please, Gregory. Can you hear me all right? Please, Gregory.
Спасибо.
Yes.
По-моему, Эйнштейн сказал, что
Einstein said that all
технологический и научный прогресс
technological
в
progress
конечном итоге ведет к изготовлению
leads
более мощной
to
бомбы. То есть это в самом
a
деле
creation of a
высокая
powerful
опасность для
bomb.
человечества.
So this progress technological is very dangerous.
Развитием человечества, его моральным
When there is a gap between this progress in technology and science and moral and ethical norms in society. And there is another danger.
Увеличиваться все больше и больше из-за, опять-таки, технологического прогресса, робототехники.
Is lack of jobs, receding number of jobs. And it's going to be a very big problem for society. So integral education and upbringing that we are working on is very important because it's going to help because of the social crises and demographic crises in the world. We see that there are countries where young people just don't have jobs and they don't know where to go. And where they go to, they go to support their lives through crimes and wars. They are used in wars. And so we disseminate education of connection is very important.
So what about the mismatch between technological progress and moral development of society? Please go ahead, Sergey.
Да, просто человечеству надо инструкцию.
Humanity needs to have an instruction of how to live on this planet and how to use everything that they have. And this instruction should just help people to have the right relationships and live the right life.
Please, Elliot. Yes, please, Elliot.
I'm sorry, I chose the unmute button. Science, unfortunately, has been, in a sense, prostituted. That it gets specific. It's used for specific egoistic reasons and specific causes. Global warming, nuclear issues, overpopulation, etc. Instead of the entire balance of, with science looking at the entire picture in balance and what our issues is. So science needs to go and do that, to look at the entire picture. And when one comes to it, one finds out that it will be human ego. In other words, everything points down to human ego. The old Pogo, the 1970s, it was actually based on ecology, but the statement, famous thing that it says, we found the enemy and it is us. So, not him, not this, but all of us, and we have to change this. And then the method, science develops the methods of which we can change, how we can fight the ego. The realization of this, by the way, Einstein and Freud, there was the thing from, well, why war? And in the end, both of them died with a hopeless thought. He expressed it, Freud in Civilization, as discontents. Einstein expressed it as deathbed. They thought it was hopeless because of human ego, that the situation was hopeless, but we don't think it is. We see in nature in the 21st century, which they never got to see, that natural systems overcome this, and we can do it too. So we have to develop the science to clearly point out the problem, clearly point out its ego, and clearly point out how we can do that, and through integral education and such. And that's where education comes in. We have the science of it, what's necessary, and then to implement it through integral education.
Thank you. Now, Larissa, please.
Да, спасибо. Всегда человечество основывалось на
Thank you.
увеличении своего
Humanity
эго,
has been
на увеличении
basing its life on ego, on increasing ego, developing knowledge. I think that our society should put upbringing as a priority. I've heard that we just need one generation that was upbringing in integral way. This will be enough to change humanity. And so first there should be upbringing of children and then education. Although they go together, but it looks like upbringing is the most important. And so how we can teach it, what's the methodology is important to know.
So last minute for our roundtable discussion, please, Alex, go ahead and give your insight.
Я вспоминаю легенду о том селении, которые жили где-то на
There was a story about a society that was living in some wilderness, and they have used all their water, and they decided that they would go just in different directions, and those that one who will find water, they will call the rest. And so they went away, and one found a lot of resources, but now there is a problem. How is it going to get the rest? Because they're all far away. And so he was screaming, hoping that they will hear. And it's similar to where we are today. We are screaming, but we cannot hear each other, although we have all the resources. And so we have to just use everything we have to spread this methodology. Integral understanding. And we just need to believe that this will change.
Thank you so much, Tasviba Bolshoi. Yes, this marks the end of our roundtable discussion, and we are coming to a closure here of our conference today. But before we will listen to our host also, we want to give you something to chew on, because we want you to stay connected with us. So there is a question for you that if you want, you can share it afterwards in our social media outlets. And it goes like, after the inspiration we got during the conference about the interdependence of humanity, what do you see as the next step to find a new unity in humanity? So if you have an insight, a tool, something that you should say, this is for us for the next step to take, please share this on our social media sites, where we will just will also give you the links to our different media outlets. We are on LinkedIn, there's a website, of course, IHUD.world. We have a YouTube channel, IHUD channel. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram, of course, also on LinkedIn. So we have all these beautiful possibilities to share, and they are going to be shared also here in this Zoom now. Here you have it. So please click on the link that you would like to share. And again, the question is, if you want to share with us, after the inspiration we got during the conference about the interdependence of humanity, what do you see as the next step to find a new unity in humanity? So, having said this, we are coming to a conclusion of our conference. Before we do that, we would like to express our heartfelt appreciation to everyone who has contributed to the success of this event. Our organizing committee has shown unwavering dedication over the past several months to bring together an exceptional group of speakers and participants, and their hard work has been invaluable. The support of our Professor Ephraim Eliav and the executive committee have also been integral to the success of this conference. And importantly, a big thank you to all of the behind-the-scenes work of our many simultaneous translators and our technical support team, the Zoom chat moderators, broadcasters. So this would not be possible without their skilled efforts. And we also would like to extend our deepest gratitude to all of you, our attendees. Your engagement, enthusiasm, thoughtful contributions through questions, comments, insights have made this event a rich, collaborative and rewarding experience for all of us. So if you would like to revisit any of the sessions, please know that the full conference recording will be available on our YouTube channel, the link to which has been shared in the chat. Additionally, for any remaining questions, feel free to send them to our conference email or chats conference.ihud@gmail.com, and we will make sure to forward them to our speakers and ensure that you receive a response. We sincerely hope you found this conference meaningful, and we look forward to welcoming you again at our next event next year. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce our director, Professor Ephraim Eliav, who will offer some final thoughts on this remarkable event. Thank you all. Please.
Okay, dear colleagues and friends, as our 6th International IHUD Conference draws close, I sit before you with a whole head and enriched mind. For these 2 remarkable days, we have collectively demonstrated that very principles that our Institute champions, unity through diversity, interdisciplinary collaboration, and the power of integrative collective wisdom. Today's presentations completed the comprehensive picture we began painting yesterday. From Dr. Peresipkina's connective function balance model to our final roundtable discussion, we have examined human development from individual, interpersonal, social, and even global perspectives. What strikes me the most powerfully is how our discussions have naturally connected across seemingly disparate fields. When Dr. Kozlov spoke about the limits of progress and the need for the new scientific paradigm, it resonated with Dr. Averbach's exploration of collective integral consciousness as a path to revealing true reality. When Ms. Green and Ms. Mandelbaum shared insights on connected couple relationship, it completed our early discussion on family integrity and child development. These natural connections remind us that knowledge flourishes not in isolation, but in relationship, like humanity itself. The challenges facing our world today require precisely this type of integrative thinking, the ability to see connections across boundaries, synthesize diverse perspectives, and recognize the underlying unity within apparent diversity. As you return to your homes and institutions, I encourage you to become ambassadors of this integrative approach. Share these ideas with colleagues, implement these concepts in your work, and continue our conversations there. The IHUD is committed to supporting your efforts. As you have already heard it from our wonderful moderator, we have website, web resources, and all this community remains available as you apply these principles in your unique context. Please stay connected with us and each other. This network of relationships is perhaps the most valuable outcome of our time together. Thank you to each speaker for your valuable contribution and every participant for your engaged presence here, and our organization and team for making this event possible. Well, I would like also to give a special thanks to Jasmine Flum. She is the head of the Swiss branch of IHUD, and also she is a general manager of this conference. Professor Mariam Abogassia, she is head of the scientific conference committee. Translation team, which is rather numerous, this team was led by Larissa Column. We have greatest moderators online: Grace Ledbetter, Gianni Conti, Joachim Wechnet, and also we have on the web moderators Larissa Kornilova, Ina Kameneva, Jasmine Flum, and Mariam Abogassia. Have great broadcast and technical support team: Marek Silas-John, Pavel Svirdenko, and Ruslan Amirov. All these people have really contributed a lot. Until we meet again, may we continue growing together toward humanity's unified development. I wish all of you success and flourishing, and see you at our following IHUD events. Goodbye.